evening.
Good evening,
My
sir.
name is Ankur, and I am associated with EduShastra since last almost 10 years and mentoring and training the students for various national as well as the international examinations. So, yes, Jitender.
Hi Manas, I am Jitender Akhanpal. I am a teacher and I have been associated with EduShastra for last 10 years. Sir.
Hi Manas,
Hello,
I'm
sir.
Sachin. Hi Manas, good evening. I'm Sachin and I am educator with EduShastra. It's been almost 2 years since I am associated with EduShastra, and I prepare students for competitive examinations, especially in one category, verbal ability.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, Manas, just introduce yourself with something which is not there in your resume.
Okay, sir. So good evening, first of all the panel members. Since you all already know my name, I would like to begin with telling you the meaning of my name. So the name Manas is it's a concept derived from an Indian philosophy, which means the ability to think. And in short, we can also call it as an intellect or mind. So ever since I was a young child, I have been living in different cities, I have attended different schools because of the nature of my father's job. So I've lived in 7 different cities and I've attended 5 different schools. So I think this has added to my personality greatly because I think I am very adaptable in nature and I am easily able to gel in new places and make bonds with people. Other than that, I have graduated from Symbiosis Institute of Technology in Pune last year. And my favorite subjects in engineering curriculum were majorly IC engines and theory of machines. Okay. Theory of machines, basically, most probably importantly, because theory of machines was one subject where I felt that actual engineering applications were taking place. And I think I am a mechanical engineer graduate. So I'm always been interested towards problem solving. And I think that was one subject which I really liked because of the nature of the subject. Other than that, I have interned with Indian Space Research Organization, though work from home. I have done a research internship with them in my final year of engineering. And in my free time, I like to interact with people. This is an hobby that I've developed in the last 2 years due to the lockdown. And I also like to watch cricket and some other sports. And I also occasionally indulge in some reading activities as well.
Right. So thank you, Manas, for introducing yourself. Right. So
Yes,
Manas, as you are a mechanical engineering graduate, right, and you have developed say some projects with the ISRO also.
Yes, sir.
So first, I would like to just understand what is the difference between the petrol and diesel fuels.
So petrol and diesel fuels basically are they are gases, but the working is the difference. Main difference is in the working of their engines, respective engines. Yes. So in case of a petrol engine, the major difference between the two is in terms of engineering, we call them self-ignition and compression ignition. Okay. So self-ignition is basically the spark ignition, that is petrol, which uses a spark plug for ignition. And whereas diesel is compared, the compression engine, the combustion happens due to the compression ratio of the fuel in that engine. So.
Okay. Right. So which type of engine we use in these rockets and all these space research missions? Like is this petrol or is this a diesel engine, or what kind of engine we are using there?
So I think that's a different, I think the rockets are basically, I'm not very sure about the fuels that are used. I mean, I've heard about hydrogen fuels and kerosene as fuels, but if I am to point out a single engine that is used, I am not very sure about that, sir.
Okay, right. Yeah. So Manas, you have these internship also in your some radars, right? So Arduino based radar and develop an intelligent rover and everything. So
those are my projects, sir, not internships.
Okay, okay, projects.
Yes, sir.
So what are the different types of radars we have?
So the only radar I know of as of now is the one that the ATC uses to check the flight routes and the paths.
Okay.
And another one is, I think, the army that uses, but I'm not very sure about the specific radar systems that are there.
Okay, but what is the function of your this project, like the radar which you have
Yes,
studied
sir.
in?
So this project was a mini project in my third year. It was
Mhm.
in the subject of mechatronics.
Mhm.
So the topic was to make a project that we think that involved something other than just mechanical engineering.
Mhm.
So that's why I, along with my team, chose to make a radar, because it was a very simple project. And it
Mhm.
was also my first time working with the electronic modules of Arduino and different sensors that are used.
Mhm.
So I did this project out of curiosity to understand the basics of other branches other than mechanical. So
Mhm.
that was the main purpose behind doing the Arduino based radars.
Okay. So, Manas, you were saying that you have a skills of time management,
Yes, sir.
right? So, can you give us some example where you have shown this your skill of time management?
Yes, sir. So there, honestly speaking, sir, I think time management is one of my major skills.
Mhm.
But to point out one major example that I feel that has really helped me in that really describes the importance of time management in my life is
Okay.
my second year of engineering, fourth semester examinations, final examinations.
Mhm.
So I've been a good student in engineering, but I mean, you know how it is in engineering. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's friends teaching each other every time. I mean,
Yeah.
3 days, 2 days before the examination.
Right.
So in the first 3 semesters, I realized that I was studying by myself. I wasn't able to help my friends because I was new to the engineering curriculum and I was learning how to manage things. So till the time my fourth semester came and I had made some good friends by then. So time management comes in the picture where in the last 1 week of my examination, before examination, we had the preparation week.
Okay.
So that's when I decided that this time I just don't want to pass by myself, but I also want to help my friends pass it as well. So I had to make things possible. I used to be very attentive in class, unlike a lot of people. So I think that really helped me in understanding concepts easily. So what I did in managing time over here was, when I used to study by myself, I used to go to the library. I used to devote 4 or 5 hours to a specific subject. And then I used to understand the concepts such that if a friend asks me about that topic, I would begin from the start. Like my grandfather always told me, if you're learning something, learn it in a way that you can also explain it to a 5-year-old. So yes, sir. So I used to devote my time to particular topics, and I have studied them in that way. And when I came back to my room from the library, I used to devote an hour or 30 minutes to each of my friends who had problems in any difficult topics. So I continued this throughout the 5th, 6th semester of my engineering until lockdown happened. And I'm very happy that the time that I gave to myself and my friends, it resulted in a good way. I think I had a 80% success rate in helping my friends fast. So I think that was one place where I could give time to others, because I was very disciplined in time management by my own self.
So Manas, as you were saying that you were there in different cities, changed different schools, and you have done your schooling majorly from Delhi NCR region.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then your major graduation part is from Pune. Right.
Yes, sir.
So, and you say that you have an interest in interacting of persons, interaction of people, right? So, can you just elaborate, like, what is the most specific quality of persons you have found here in Delhi NCR?
So specific quality as
in sense of like, say, we listen, we read the news that there is a fighting over the road, there is a road rage cases, majorly in Delhi NCR region, right? So have you analyzed why is this so?
Sir, temper, in my opinion. The temperament of people, I think, plays a major role. And I would just like to draw a parallel. I'm not sure it's correct or not, but because I've lived in Pune as well, and I've lived in Delhi as well, in my teenage and young adulting years. So I think temperament of people is very different. In Maharashtra, in Pune, people have a very calm demeanor to themselves. They are more friendly, they are more approachable. And it's always a very peaceful way of talking with each other. Whereas we come to Delhi, Noida, NCR, I think people are great over here in terms of bonding. I mean, they'll go to lengths to be with you, to show that their love and care for you. But also, I think there's a big difference of temperament. People here are a little short-tempered, and incidents that you mentioned, like road rage or shootings or anything of that sort, I think that happens majorly because people are not patient enough. So that is one trait that I find that is different from the Pune people in here.
But the reason, I just want to understand the reason. Why is this temperament? Why is this short tempering? Why is this so in here, Delhi NCR?
I think, sir, it's because of the. I am not sure if this is the right answer, but I think it depends a lot on the type of upbringing in a particular location, in a particular city, and the kind of people, I mean, the kind of peer group you are along with. And it also comes a little bit towards the mentality of the people, a progressive mentality and a little backward mentality, sir.
Okay. So thank you, Manas. Thank you. Yes, Jitender, please.
Manas, why should any MBA college select you? What are your qualities?
Yes, sir. So I think, first of all, I would like to tell you why I want to do an MBA. And I think that I can help you understand why MBA college should select me. Yeah. So in the 4 years of my engineering, although I was very interested before joining engineering to do mechanical engineering and be part of automobile industry, but 2 years down the line when I was in the curriculum, I realized that even though I'm enjoying it, but the major part of my enjoyment came from doing projects, solving problems, interacting with people, managing teams. So after 2 years of my engineering, I started researching about the management profiles, and I came up with different programs. And MBA caught my eye because I thought that my skill set resembles a lot of a MBA candidate and an MBA aspirant later on becoming managers in the future. So I think, sir, I have good, like I mentioned to Ankur, sir, I think time management is one of my strengths. Other than that, I think I enjoy public speaking. I like doing projects in a team. I like to lead a team when it comes to that. But at the same time, in my engineering, I have worked as a team member and as a team leader. And I think I understand the dynamics of both, the importance of both. Other than that, I think I can project these qualities of mine into my peers as well. Because it's an MBA, it's different from undergraduation because there are a lot of people in an MBA that come from different backgrounds. So I think peer learning becomes a very important part in this. And I think I can contribute to my peers and learn from them. So that's why I would want to pursue an MBA. And I think my skills, my public speaking skills, my planning and execution skills, my communication skills, which I feel are very strong in terms of getting my message across to people. I think these are things that I can impart to my peers as well. And that's why I think I can be a good fit for an MBA, sir.
Okay. So you mentioned about public speaking.
Yes, sir.
Whom do you idolize as a orator, great orator in public life?
So I think in the last few years, I mean, there are a lot of great orators out there. And but my major motivation of public speaking came from Sandeep Maheshwari, sir. I'm not sure if you people know about him, but he's a yes, sir. So he's a YouTuber and he's a great motivational speaker. And I was very fond of the way he used to talk. Because his communication skills were such that he used to reach the hearts of people. He used to communicate his point across to the whole crowd that was listening to him. So I was back in school in 2016, 2015. That's when I started listening to his podcasts and videos. And he's a major motivation for me. And I think his style of talking, his style of speaking to the public is something that has impressed me and motivated me to become a public speaker as well, whenever the time comes.
Okay. So have you thought about entrepreneurship, opening your own venture?
So this is the era of startup right now, I would say. I mean, we are in the 75th to the 100th, the 25 years of startup. When our government says that this is the era of startups. So of course, I have been interested in startups. Recently, the Shark Tank India show that was coming up. The concept, I'm not very sure that I enjoyed, but to see that there are so many people inside our country that are doing their own startups, that definitely inspired me. I've always thought of doing a startup since my engineering days. But of course, I think it's not an easy thing to do. You need to have a good idea. You need to provide a good product. In my opinion, entrepreneurship happens in two ways. Either you innovate or you improve something that is already existing over there.
Correct.
Yes, sir. So even though I'm interested in entrepreneurship to start my own business, but currently since I don't have an idea, I would first like to gain experience by working in the business field, sir. And after that, maybe if I get a certain good idea or I find someone who is working on a good project, I would definitely like to join in.
Can you give an example when someone have innovated something new, or when any person, any company have improved on something current situation?
So I think I would like to draw the example of Uber. Uber as a startup, Ola, Uber, or Oyo Hotels. I think these are startups that have done an innovation. I mean, if 10 years ago, 15 years ago, someone would have told me that the world's largest cab company does not own a single cab, I wouldn't believe it. So, but today, Uber is following a business plan, a business model that that it doesn't own any vehicles, but it's still the world's #1, the Uber car rental business. So that is one place I think that was an innovation. It was an innovation in idea. Similarly, Oyo as well. It followed the same concept. So that was one place where I thought it was an innovation. And improvements, I think improvement, I'm not really sure about a startup that I've read about in terms of improvement. So.
Okay. Fine, Manas. I think when Uber and Ola were, they improved the existing taxi services.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There was a time when we asked a taxi driver or auto driver, they said we don't go there. They never used to go by meter. So
Right.
this is an example where they improved this. They disrupted the existing taxi services. Fine. So this was from my side. Now over to Sachin, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hi, Manas.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. Manas, I have seen your profile and I have heard, what you're talking about yourself, and it's really impressive. Again, there's some analysis on which I would like to talk to you. One is that you completed your engineering in 2017, right?
So 2021. I joined in 2017.
Oh, you joined in 2017 and you completed in 2021.
21.
Okay. And after that, you completed 2 projects and 1 internship, right?
Yes, sir.
So I would not, ask you that why you want to go for management. You already answered to Ankur, sir. My question is, reverse to this question. Why not engineering? Because the projects that you did, I mean, the last one, internship, which you did with ISRO, I think, an engineer has a dream to be associated with ISRO, right?
Yes, sir.
And leading people, time management, everything was there. So why not with, engineering?
So I'll be very raw and honest with you about this, sir. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed doing engineering. It wasn't because I was forced to do it or anything, but because I realized that my strengths lie in a different parameter. While doing engineering, I of course did whatever I was asked to do or whatever I thought would be right thing to do in situations. But I realized something that, like, let's take example of my final year project that was a development of smart intelligent robot. So the idea behind this was at that point of time, there were a lot of forest fires going on. There were some fire accidents in factories in Delhi. So the idea came to me that we should work on this. We should develop something in which we can the main aim of that project was that firefighters should aim to protect lives and not just worry about the fire, like controlling the fire. So the aim of that project was to design a robot that could help firefighters in saving lives and leave the extinguishing part to our firefighting robot, the intelligent robot. So the idea behind this was mine. The concept was mine, but when it came to actually applying it, I'm very sure that I couldn't have done it without the help of my team members. And similarly, in my internship with the Indian Space Research Organization, even though there wasn't an idea that I had to put in, but I realized that even though I enjoy doing these projects, I like to work in team. There are certain things, there are certain aspects of expertise that I cannot compete with others, because my interest didn't lie in there basically. So like certain softwares, like I've studied AutoCAD, I've studied ANSYS Workbench. So these are softwares that I know basics about. But when it came to having expertise, doing analysis, computational fluid dynamics analysis, I realized that even though this is very interesting, but I am not fit for this role. I want to work in a place where I think my public skills, people skills shine brighter than my technical skills.
Perfect, Manas. Manas, you talked about your people skill, and in your hobbies, you also mentioned that you love to talk to strangers. I mean, love to
Yes,
talk
sir.
to new people, right? So, do you have any, any thought in your background? Any pre-decided thought that you want to talk to new people, and this would be the thought process or the idea on which you want to talk to, or it is just random discussion. You talk on any of the topics.
So I would like to tell you how this started. While like I mentioned, I started this as a hobby when the lockdown started. So at the beginning, I didn't have any blueprint of what I want to talk about. I was just exploring the internet and found a platform where I could interact with strangers. But slowly, like after a week or two of interacting with people, I realized that I have always believed that a local of a city or a country can give you great details about the place than Google can. So
Mhm.
I started realizing that this particular platform has a lot of potential. So I started maintaining a journal where I use, the platform I used helped me talk to people from across the globe. So I started maintaining a journal where I started asking them the very basic questions about the basic greetings in their language, in their country. What are the top places to visit? What are the local cuisine places that Google does not show and you think are great in your opinion? What is the form of government in your country? A little bit history about how it happened. I mean, how the country was formed. And what is your opinion about India and about Indian people? How do you treat the tourist? So that became a format for me to interact with people from different countries. And that has helped me form a lot of connections across the globe. And I think that is one hobby that I've thoroughly enjoyed because it's always great to know about different countries and from their locals and not just studying it on Google or Wikipedia. Sir.
Perfect. Okay, so while interacting with these people, I have seen once again your setup skills, right, and your profile, and you talked about your presentation, your time management, your people management skills, your team skills, right? So, in a person with these kind of skills, also you talked about your problem solving skills as well.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever faced any kind of challenge which was very difficult to handle, or difficult to solve, and then you handled it, and you're learning from that, handling situation? What was your learning from that situation?
So I think I'm not sure if this would answer your question as my problem solving skills, but if a challenging situation is to be talked about, I think it's a little personal on my end. But I think I've learned something very important from it. So I'll just tell you about it. In class 10th, I was an extremely good student. I scored a 10 CGPA. I was interviewed by a local newspaper and my photo was also printed in the paper. After that, I took science because I was interested in doing engineering. 11th happened. I was doing great in my extracurricular. I was also part of my student council. And I was part of the NCC cadet group of the school. And I was doing great at that end. But I started realizing that my academics was taking a hit slowly. Also because of the preparation of JEE, the coaching hours, the school hours, it was taking a toll on me. But I wasn't, I was in a lot of, I was very energetic that I'm doing good, I'm doing it. I just stopped in my class 10th, so I'll manage it. Things happened, 11th shifted to 12th. Because of my academics going poor and poorer, I started losing confidence. I started losing confidence in my people skills, in my extracurricular, at my coaching. I was scoring in negatives and I was absolutely devastated. I was like, aise to nahi ho payega. So anyway, after that, I spoke to my parents about it. And I told them that I don't think I can continue with the JEE preparation and my school preparation together. I would just like to focus on my boards because in January, I had my pre-boards and I had scored 9, 11, 13, 17, and 35 on 100 in physics, chemistry, math. So that was really devastating for me as well as for my family because, you have your board exams in 2 months and you have just cleared one paper in your pre-boards. That's not a good sight to see when you have topped in class 10. So I started focusing on my academics back then. And I somehow managed to score a decent percentile in 12th and clear all my subjects. I managed to get into a decent engineering college. And when I went there, I made a pledge to myself that I think I have good, decent skills with people. I have good extracurricular activities in school, but my confidence has taken a hit because I wasn't able to perform in my academics. So I pledged to myself that I want to clear my engineering without any backlogs and with a good aggregate. So 5 years down the line, I'm sitting here, I've taken a drop again for a CAT. But I'm very proud to say that I cleared my engineering without any backlogs. I got an 8.34 GPA, CGPA in my final semester. And I think the two major learnings from this whole process that I've learned is that never give up, first of all, because that's the most important skill in life. That's the most important thing in life. Don't compare yourself with your peers, your people. Everyone has their own clock, their own timeline going on. You just need to focus on yourself. And the second learning is be patient, persistent, and follow your planning. Just stick to the plan and you will make it. So these are my two very important learnings. And so one additional learning that I think, because I knew how I felt in class 12, I looked up for support, but I wasn't able to find it. I'm very happy to tell you that I was there for someone like the way I wanted someone to be for me. So that is one thing I'm very proud of myself, sir. And those are my special learnings in a challenging situation, sir.
That's great, Manas. That's great. So now I would like to over it to Ankur sir, for closing this interview. Ankur sir, over
Yes,
to
sir.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So Manas, just relax now.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So how is this your whole process?
So it
How
was
do you
amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it, sir.
Okay. So Manas, just some observation. First coming to the resume, right? So one thing, add your date of birth also
Okay, sir.
in your resume, right? And second thing, you have used your circular photo,
Right.
right?
Right,
Your
sir.
photo in the circular. But see, whenever you see any form, like if you go for any banking exam, UPSC exam, and all these like standard major exam, so they are saying that just paste a passport size photograph, right? And if I talk about the passport size photograph, so this will be a something a rectangular or the square.
Right. Right.
Right.
Okay, sir.
And if you're pasting a circular, so this seems something like, say, you are using your Facebook profile or WhatsApp type of thing, right?
Right.
So this is not a sober on a resume, right? So just use this, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, everything is fine, and yes, just need just a simple need of requirement is just revise the basics for
Yes,
the
sir.
academic part because you are just passed out, right? So you took a say sorry word in some one or two questions when talking
Right.
about
Right,
say technical part, your academics, your graduation, right? And one more thing, as you have written the Manas and then mechanical engineering in the
Yes,
resume,
sir.
right? So you are basically posing yourself as a mechanical engineer. So this is the important for you, right?
Right.
So in the order of the qualification, first will be your engineering, then your 12th, then the 10th. So just reverse, flip,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
right? Just reverse because now the major qualification for you, the engineering graduation,
Yes, sir.
right? So yes, rest everything is fine and go ahead and we are wishing that you should be a light winner as till now in the life, so in the near future also you should be a
Thank you so much, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
Manas, best of
Yeah.
luck for your mock
Yeah.
interview, for your
Thank you, sir.
interviews, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
We wish you all the best, Manas.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.